We're looking at right about the right number of people here, so I will go ahead and get started. So thanks again to everybody for joining my webinar today. Today I want to discuss the holiday season and really how to do what you want to be changing with your marketing campaigns to address this time of year to ensure that you get the best results out of the campaigns that you're running. So we're going to go through kind of all the different platforms through digital marketing and really give you some great insights into what it is that you can be doing, what are some strategies that you should be implementing, again, to help maximize the results that you get out of your marketing campaigns. So my name is Jack Barr. I'm the business development team manager here at Adpearance. Been here for about 5 years and really tested out a lot of these strategies and excited to review some of what it is that we can do here. And what it is that we've been seeing as some trends in the marketing world. So a little bit about Adpearance. We've been in the advertising space for well over a decade. When people ask me what are the things that separate Adpearance from all these other providers, it really, for me, comes down to two major differentiators. One is the technologies that we have. We're a Google Premier partner, meaning we're in the top 3% of all digital advertising agencies across every industry. It also means that Google comes out with all their early alpha and beta tests with Adpearance first before they roll it out to the rest of the market. Now, the other side of the coin, though, is the client experience. The client experience, I think, is critical for working with an agency, right? Because you want to have somebody who you can trust, who you can call up. And I think that's something that really separates us. That's why we have a 98% client retention rate, because dealers love working with us. All right, now let's talk about digital advertising and my holiday recommendations. And digital advertising is something that I find really valuable. I talk to a lot of spa dealers that tell me, they spend in traditional, they spend on TV commercials or radio or print ads. And I ask them, what are the results that you get out of that? Most people tell me, well, I reached, 100,000 people. And I'm like, that's great. How many of those 100,000 people walked in with your newspaper flyer or told you I watched that TV commercial? It's probably pretty minimal, right? With digital advertising, you get measured results. You're going to know exactly how many people clicked on your ad, how many people came to your website, how many people got to talk to your salesperson from the leads that you generate on your digital advertising campaigns. And so I always look at what is the measured results that you're going to get out of the advertising campaigns that you run, because you should really get a return on investment from what you're spending. And that's what I really enjoy about digital advertising, is you get to see what the measured results are. And again, hold that return on investment and really see those results there. So the holiday season, this year, we're expecting a 40% of consumers will be spending more than they have in 2022. And I think that's pretty important to know because, well, this is a really important time of year to be capturing that spend. We see a lot of customers are really going to be increasing that overall purchases, and you want your spa dealership to be the place where they go to make those purchases. So let's talk about how we go ahead and do so. And I always start with the lowest funnel first, right? What is the easiest way to get somebody to come into your store? That's through search advertising. This is a customer telling you what they want by what they're searching in that search bar. And you have to be the most relevant answer. So when they're asking for these questions, they're asking for products that you offer. Maybe they're typing in hot tub for sale near me, right? You want to show up with your hot tubs for sale. And especially around this time of year, people are looking to see, am I going to get a deal around Black Friday, around the holiday events? This is where it's really important to make sure that you include that language in the advertising campaigns that you run. So with search advertising, first, we want to add in seasonal language and keywords in your ad text, right? Mention Black Friday because people love to hear they're getting a deal. They're more likely to click on your ad when they believe they're getting a deal. So make sure you include those incentives. Make sure you add keywords to your campaigns, right? Black Friday is a really great keyword to be adding. Holiday discounts, holiday sale, those sort of keywords where it really helps you show up more for those customers looking for these different offers and discounts. Also include any sort of incentives into your ads. right? You really want to get that customer feeling like they are getting a deal, and so include some of those offers. Make sure that you're capturing that in-market searches, not just on Google, but also on Bing, and kind of the other search engines as well. You really want to make sure that your ads are prevalent and showing up as often as possible. Again, with any one of those offers that you can add in. And then lastly, look at expanding your geo-targeting. Your ads maybe currently only cover your backyard. They cover right around your store, but maybe it's time to start expanding that out a little bit, looking at where your competitors are at, seeing if your competitors are bidding on some of these keywords. If they're not, it's a prime opportunity to go steal back some market share. Be happy to review any of those with you. If you want to schedule a follow-up meeting after this webinar as well, I'll show you kind of where your competitors are bidding and where you might be able to take back some of that market share there. All right, now let's talk about Performance Max. Performance Max is an awesome tool that we're seeing from the Google offerings. So essentially what Performance Max is instead of having a separate campaign for display advertising and YouTube and search, basically what it does is it combines all of these into one category, and using Google's AI, it says, go get me the maximum number of conversions for any users on these platforms. So what their AI will do is that they'll try and figure out, okay, maybe this customer's on YouTube right now, and now's a really good time to show them that Black Friday offer that your store is running, because we think this customer is likely to click through on that ad at this time based on all of this historical data that we're seeing from customers across the entire country. So it's using kind of machine learning to pick up what is the right time to show an ad to these users based on all of these other users that have previously bought from you. Now, when we started running Performance Max campaigns, we're seeing $1.60 cost per click. On average, $25.75 for cost per conversion. Now, when you think about that, for a chance to sell a customer on a thousands of dollar hot tub, $25 to get that customer talking to your salesperson, probably some pretty good return on investment there. So we see a lot of value out of running these Performance Max campaigns because, again, you get to hit customers on the full gamut of Google's offerings and make sure that that customer is ending up on your site. Now, within display advertising, with hot tubs, it is an experience. You want to sell the experience on why it is that this customer should be purchasing a tub from me this year. You want to sell them on, hey, maybe this year, instead of getting the new car, maybe this is the year you sell them on buying that hot tub, right? We really want to sell that experience of somebody can be sitting in that tub with their loved ones and enjoying, the nice experiences that you get out of that. So doing display advertising will help you cover those customers, and it's a relatively low cost to hit thousands on thousands of people. So when you look at running a newspaper ad, well, most people are now online. They're on all of these different websites. They go to ESPN to check the scores, and you're going to show a little banner here on the side to convince that customer that maybe now is the time to do their Black Friday shopping at your spa dealership. YouTube advertising. YouTube is the second biggest search engine outside of Google search. 70% of users report that YouTube increases their awareness of new brands. So, when I think about, hey, this is a really good time to start to sell people on buying a hot tub, YouTube is a really good way to build up that awareness. Get people thinking, maybe this is the year I buy that tub. People who watch YouTube ads are 2 times more likely to buy something that they saw on that platform. So show an ad on there. I always tell people, keep your ads relatively short. About 15 seconds is all that you need. The first 5 seconds is all about branding, making that person know, hey, we're the local hot tub dealer. You should come buy from us, because in the first 5 seconds, a user has to watch that ad before they can skip it. You see that little skip button on the side pops up after 5 seconds, right? So that first 5 seconds, do a bunch of branding, get them to remember your name, get them to remember what an awesome experience that you're selling them. So that even if they skip that ad, well, 1, you don't have to pay for that customer, but 2, you get that customer shopping on or remembering who you are and maybe coming back to Google search, type in your spa dealership there. Now, discovery ads. Discovery ads are an awesome platform as well. So what this does is it shows up onto Gmail, it shows up onto YouTube homepage, it shows up onto Google's discovery page. You're really able to show your assets on these different platforms. And again, it's really just about building that repetition of customers seeing you everywhere, building up that awareness, making them think this is the right time to be buying that spa. So when I look at Performance Max, again, you get to cover a whole gamut of different Google offerings within one campaign. So you want to prioritize users that have shown interest before, right? Build up in-market audiences, remarketing campaigns, re-engage those low funnel customers to ensure that they come back and actually purchase from you or get in contact with you. You know, users are going to click multiple times before they actually engage with your salespeople. So you want to make sure that you're staying in front of them time and time again, so they don't forget about it or they don't go make a big purchase somewhere else, but you stay repetitive with them to ensure that they want to be buying from you. Now, after that, you know, again, it is the holiday season. So make sure that you're including those sort of texts. Make sure that you're making that customer feel like they are getting those offers, similarly to how we do on search. You'll also want to use ad copy that features holiday incentives. Update your ads with seasonal language, holiday or sales event themed ad creative. Again, really just building around that idea, right? And then lastly, increase your campaign budgets to align with increased holiday demand, right? There's more searches that are happening out there. So ensure that your campaigns are fully funded to make sure you capture all that interest. All right, oops, skip the page. Social media. So social media is another, again, experience platform where you can build up the awareness for your store. Facebook and Instagram, users are on this all the time, right? Social media usage, 147 minutes per day, 2.5 hours, right? So what you can do on these platforms is people are scrolling already, right? They're looking at all of their family and friends' photos, and then they get to an ad of yours, and you can sell them on how cool of an experience sitting in this hot tub would be, right? Then you tell them that you have a Black Friday sales event. That's already convincing that customer, hey, I'm getting a discount on this. Now you've convinced that customer that not only is this an awesome experience, also I'm giving you a sales event. I'm one click away to getting that customer to convert and start talking to our salespeople. And so we really want to try and maximize the amount of awareness that we're building on every platform that we have. And social media is a terrific way to do so in a place where customers are used to clicking on ads and clicking on posts to expand it even more. You should be doing so to try and get your ads out in front of these customers on these types of platforms as well. So with social media, it's going to be pretty similar to what you're going to see on your search recommendations and on your Performance Max recommendations, but run holiday themed events, you know, campaigns featuring your most attractive deals and incentives, right? You want to use remarketing campaigns. You want to re-engage in-market customers, maybe customers who have been to your website before, showing them another ad to try and get them over to your site again. People who have shown an interest in purchasing tubs and you want to put your ads out in front of them. And then look at other social media platforms. You know, we're seeing users are starting to get pretty big into TikTok. Do you have a presence on TikTok? Might be worth kind of looking into, whether it's, you know, doing walkarounds, maybe installs that you did. Think about how you might be able to build up your brand through these different social media platforms, and start posting out there, you know, get people aware of what you have going on. All right, this is one that I really recommend to a lot of people. And, you know, I talked in the beginning about people buying into radio ads. And, you know, I asked those users, I'm like, okay, do you often listen to the radio maybe on your drive into work, right? But there's a lot of users that are actually doing these streaming devices, right? They're listening to Spotify or Pandora, and not a lot of people are placing their ads onto these platforms yet. But streaming audio is a terrific way to get your ads placed directly in front of those users. And unlike, you know, when you listen to your radio ads, your streaming ads, you can actually get users to click directly into that ad and take you right to the website, right? So 72% of Americans are listening to digital audio every single month. And so we want to make sure that we're getting in front of those users, right? Build up that brand awareness. Even if they don't click on the ad right there, you're still dropping the idea in their mind that, hey, maybe this is that time of year where I'm going to buy that tub because I heard it on the news or I heard it on the streaming audio. And I thought, hey, maybe this is that year. Maybe this is the time to be purchasing that, whether for myself or for a loved one, right? You can sell them on that idea of getting that tub for yourself. So as we go in between 2023, the end of this year, and moving into 2024, what are the questions you should be considering, right? When you're thinking about your advertising campaigns? Are you driving measurable results, right? How are you measuring the results? Are you getting a return on investment, right? Making sure that you know how much you're spending, to how many clicks it got, to how many users ended up purchasing from you because of the ads that you ran, right? You want to make sure that it is all measurable so that you can make sure that you're spending in areas that get you the best results. From there, with spa dealers, there is co-op availability. So I would ask your rep, do you have any funds available to be spending on the advertising campaigns that you have? I've been talking to a lot of spa dealers recently that have been telling me they have some funds going into the very end of this year that they need to utilize. And so figuring out how much you have and then trying to utilize as much of that as possible. After that, you want to measure your lead actions and really understand, this is another point of getting that return on investment, right? It's not just clicks that you want to measure. You want to measure how many times did your salesperson get to talk to a customer from a lead that your marketing created, right? So what that means, it's your calls, your forms, your chats, any way where your salesperson is talking to that customer from the advertising campaigns that you ran. That's what you want to be measuring to, because that's really the best way that you can get the best return on investment, right? Because if we see that, your cost per lead or your cost per qualified lead action is going up, means it's costing you more and more to get one more customer in the door. Well, that might not be working as well. But if you see that number going downwards, it means you're getting better and better returns. You can continue to invest in this platform because you're getting your salespeople a bunch of more opportunities to close on those customers. Now, when you look at your search ad campaigns, do you answer your customers' search queries, right? If they mention hot tub, you are mentioning hot tub in your ad. If they're saying Black Friday, are you mentioning Black Friday in your ad? Match the search query with what you're showing in your ads. It's going to get you stronger results. It's going to help your click-through rate go up. And then are you focusing on other profit centers outside of new spas, right? There's probably plenty of other offerings that you have out there. Are you creating ad campaigns for all of those different types? Are you driving users to those different pages based on the search query that they're making? And then lastly, does your geo-targeting cover your entire market? And again, this is a really good time to look at, if you are advertising just in your backyard, maybe put some ads in front of your competitors' area because, maybe they aren't bidding out there and you can take back some of that market share. So look at your geo-targeting, look at where your competitors are advertising and say, can I go steal some of their market share with the ad campaigns that I run? All right, as I mentioned, our team is more than happy to provide you with any sort of an analysis, any sort of recommendations. If you schedule a meeting with us, we'll do a deep dive into your market and show you where there's opportunity for more leads. So that way you can walk away with actual ideas about how to best utilize these different recommendations within your own market. So at this point, I'm curious, does anybody have any questions? I'd love to see anybody drop any questions in the QA. And happy to answer any of those that you have. The winter is my slow season. Are you saying I should spend more when customers are not buying? Great question. Yeah, no, I talk to a ton of dealers all the time, and you're right. They tell me this is the slower time of that buying season. And that's where I'm like, hey, it might be a slow time, but it doesn't mean that you should stop advertising. In fact, maybe it's a time to build up more awareness, right? It's a time where it's like, hey, they might not be considering buying a tub, right? But you can influence that consideration by running some YouTube ads or running display or running any sort of performance max campaigns to show up to those users. So now is a good time to do so. Will we get a recording of this present? Yes, you will get a copy of this presentation. We'll send this over at the end of, we'll probably send it over tomorrow is when you'll be getting it. Do earnings reports affect hot tub buyers? Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely. With earnings reports, you can definitely see, people, we're seeing interest rates going up, and hot tub buyers might not be as inclined, but it is still a time of year where people are more likely to be spending. And so we really see that this is a good time to be advertising to get that idea of making this purchase. Maybe this isn't the year they're going to go buy that new car, right? Because the cost of that is going to be so much higher. But they do have some funds to be spending, and convincing them to buy a hot tub might be something that's a little bit more within their budget. So yeah, we do see that it is still a good time to be advertising on those opportunities. Can you record streaming audio ads for me? Yes, we can. We can do this in a couple of ways. If you want us to write a script, we can write a script for you, add in a jingle, add in, you can choose from a couple of different voices that you want to speak for you. So yes, we do have opportunity to create streaming audio ads for you as well. All right. So that's all the questions so far. Anybody else have any last questions? Oh, we got one more. Can you geotag streaming sites? So you can, let's see. Yeah, you should be able to geotag like I guess I'm a little confused on the question there. Streaming sites is in like streaming audio. Oh, like Spotify. Yeah, so your targeting can be geotag, so you can do it around a radius near your dealership, so that you can show up to users within your market. Yes, that is definitely the way that your advertising campaigns would show up. So it's not like you're going to be creating campaigns that go across the entire country. No, you're going to be localized to a market around you. Do you believe Google ads are really effective? I think Google ads are some of the most effective ways to advertise, because it is a customer telling you what they want by what they're typing in that search bar. And so when you show up to an ad that is super relevant, you're much more likely to get that customer coming over and purchasing from you. So I think that Google ads are probably the best thing to spend on, because it is the lowest funnel, the best return on investment. And when people tell me, hey, I'm spending thousands of dollars to create this TV commercial, I'm like, hey, honestly, you could take a quarter of that budget, place it into Google advertising, and you're going to see significantly stronger results from the ad campaigns that you're running, because you're actually going to know the measurement on it. You're going to know how many people actually clicked on your ad, how many people talked to your salespeople. Your return on investment is significantly stronger, again, because that customer is telling you what they want by what they're searching for. All right. So I believe that's all the questions that we have. Again, I really appreciate everybody jumping on. I appreciate all the questions that come through. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm going to go back to this page here so you can see how to get in touch with us. You can schedule a meeting. You can scan this QR code if you want to schedule a meeting with us as well. Our team is more than happy to deep dive into your market and show you what opportunities there are for you, and discuss all of these different tactics with you. So again, thank you so much for joining today. We'll be sending this recording in a follow-up tomorrow, and I appreciate everybody's time.